In the bustling heart of New York City, where skyscrapers pierce the sky like ambitious dreams, Alexander Harrington stepped into a quaint coffee shop on a rainy Tuesday morning, his tailored suit drenched but his resolve unshaken. He scanned the room, eyes landing on Jamie Thompson behind the counter, a young barista with tousled brown hair and a smile that could light up the dimmest alley. Little did Jamie know, this encounter would upend his ordinary life, pulling him into a web of deception that started with a simple proposition. "How would you like to make $50,000 for pretending to be my fiancé?" Alexander was no stranger to high-stakes deals. As the heir to Harrington Enterprises, a multi-billion-dollar tech conglomerate, he navigated boardrooms with the precision of a surgeon. But at 35, with his conservative family breathing down his neck about settling down, he faced a personal crisis. His grandfather, the patriarch who held the strings to his inheritance, had issued an ultimatum: marry within the year or lose control of the company. Alexander's secret, that he was gay and had no intention of marrying a woman, complicated everything. Coming out wasn't an option. Not in a family where tradition trumped truth, and board members whispered about family values like it was currency. Jamie, on the other hand, was scraping by at 25, juggling shifts at the coffee shop while pursuing a degree in social work at NYU. Raised in a small Midwest town by a single mother who taught him resilience, he had moved to the city chasing dreams of helping marginalized communities, especially LGBTQ youth like himself. Openly gay since high school, Jamie wore his identity with quiet pride, but life in the big city wasn't the fairy tale he'd imagined. Rent was due, student loans loomed, and his part-time gig barely covered basics. When Alexander approached him after closing time, sliding a business card across the counter, Jamie's curiosity piqued. "Look, I need someone to play a role," Alexander explained in a low voice, his piercing blue eyes locking onto Jamie's hazel ones. "My family expects me to bring a fiancé to the annual gala next month. It's all fake. Dinners, photos, nothing more. In return, I'll pay off your debts and give you enough to finish school comfortably." Jamie laughed at first, thinking it was a joke, but Alexander's serious expression told him otherwise. The offer dangled like a lifeline, yet it stirred unease. Pretending to be in love with a stranger? What about his principles? Still, the money could change everything, help his mom back home, fund his advocacy work. After a sleepless night, Jamie called the number on the card. "I'm in," he said, his voice steady despite the knot in his stomach. Their first date was a crash course in fabrication. Alexander picked Jamie up in a sleek black limo, whisking him to a high-end tailor for fittings. "We need to sell this," Alexander said, adjusting Jamie's collar with a touch that lingered a second too long. Jamie felt a spark, but dismissed it as nerves. Over dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking Central Park, they crafted their backstory. Met at a charity event, bonded over shared interests in art and philanthropy. Alexander was all business, outlining do's and don'ts, but Jamie pushed back. "If we're doing this, make it believable. Tell me about you, the real you." Alexander hesitated, then shared snippets. His love for classical music, the pressure of his family's legacy. Jamie opened up too, about his passion for social justice, the bullying he'd faced growing up gay in a conservative town. As weeks passed, rehearsals turned into genuine moments. Alexander found himself drawn to Jamie's authenticity, a stark contrast to the polished facades in his world. Jamie, meanwhile, glimpsed vulnerability behind Alexander's armor. Late-night confessions about feeling trapped, the fear of disappointing his family. One evening, as they practiced holding hands in Alexander's penthouse, Jamie's thumb brushed Alexander's palm, sending a shiver through both. "This feels real," Jamie murmured. Alexander pulled away, reminding them it was just an act. But doubts crept in. Was Alexander using him to hide? And why did Jamie care so much? The first test came at a family dinner. Alexander's parents, Evelyn and Robert, eyed Jamie suspiciously. "A barista?" Evelyn sniffed, her diamond necklace glinting under the chandelier. "How quaint." Jamie held his ground, charming them with stories of his volunteer work at a youth center. But tensions simmered. Alexander's sister, Clara, pulled him aside. He's cute, but is this for real? Grandpa won't buy it if it's not. Alexander assured her, but inside, guilt gnawed. Jamie, overhearing whispers about appropriate matches, felt like an outsider, a prop in their elite game. Back in the city, Jamie confided in his best friend, Mia, over coffee. It's fake, but he's complicated. Rich, closeted, afraid. Mia warned him, don't fall for the role. Guys like him use people. Jamie nodded, but his heart raced thinking of Alexander's rare smiles. Meanwhile, Alexander battled his own demons. A board meeting highlighted the stakes, rivals circling if he lost control. He needed this charade to work, but Jamie's presence stirred feelings he'd long suppressed. One night, after a mock kiss for photos, Alexander lingered, his breath warm on Jamie's lips. Sorry, he whispered, stepping back. Jamie's pulse thundered. This was getting dangerous. As the gala approached, cracks formed. Jamie discovered Alexander had omitted key details, like a past engagement to a woman, arranged by his family. You were going to marry her? To hide. Jamie confronted him in the penthouse, anger flashing. Alexander admitted it, his voice cracking. I couldn't go through with it. That's why I need you. Jamie felt betrayed, yet empathetic. Hiding hurts everyone, Alex, including you. For the first time, Alexander let his guard down, tears welling. I don't know how to be me in this world. Jamie hugged him, the embrace feeling too real, too charged. The night before the gala, they shared a quiet dinner. Conversation flowed effortlessly, laughter echoing. Alexander confessed, You're the first person who's seen past the money. Jamie smiled, and you're more than your secrets. As they parted, a soft kiss on the cheek lingered, blurring lines. Jamie lay awake, questioning his choices. Was he just a hired hand or something more? Alexander stared at the city lights, heart aching. The deception was working, but at what cost? The Harrington Gala was a spectacle of opulence, held in a grand ballroom overlooking the Hudson River, where crystal chandeliers cast rainbows on designer gowns and tuxedos. Alexander and Jamie arrived arm in arm, the picture of young love, but beneath the smiles, tension coiled like a spring. As flashbulbs popped, Jamie whispered, Showtime, squeezing Alexander's hand, a gesture that felt less rehearsed, more instinctive. Inside, the elite mingled, CEOs, politicians, philanthropists. Alexander's grandfather, Theodore Harrington, a stern octogenarian with a cane that tapped authority, approached first. So, this is the young man who's captured my grandson's heart, he boomed, eyeing Jamie like a ledger entry. Jamie met his gaze steadily. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Alex speaks highly of you. Theodore grunted approval, but probed, What do you do, boy? Jamie explained his social work studies, emphasizing community impact. Impressive, Theodore conceded. But family comes first in our world. Alexander stiffened, but Jamie deflected smoothly. Absolutely, and Alex is my priority. As the evening unfolded, conflicts brewed. Alexander's ex-fiancée, Victoria, a socialite with perfect poise, cornered them at the bar. Fascinating choice, Alex, she purred, her eyes darting to Jamie. From heiress to barista. Jamie's jaw tightened, but he replied calmly, Love doesn't check resumes. Victoria laughed sharply, whispering to Alexander later, Your grandfather knows this is a sham. Be careful. Alexander brushed it off, but doubt seeded. Jamie's discomfort grew amid the whispers. A group of board members discussed traditional values, one joking about those rainbow parades disrupting business. Jamie bit his tongue, but when a tipsy investor made a homophobic quip, can't have the CEO prancing around, he couldn't stay silent. Actually, diversity strengthens companies. Jamie interjected, his voice firm. Ignoring it is bad business. The room hushed momentarily, Alexander's face paling. Later, in a quiet alcove, Alexander hissed, You can't do that. This is my world. Jamie retorted, "Your world needs changing. Hiding who you are isn't living." The dance floor became their battleground. As they waltzed to a string quartet, bodies close, Alexander murmured, "I'm sorry. You're right." Jamie's heart softened, feeling the warmth of Alexander's hand on his back. "Then why not come out? End the lie." Alexander's eyes clouded. "It's not that simple. Family, legacy." But in that moment, swaying under the lights, the pretense faded, replaced by a genuine connection that scared them both. Post-gala, back in the limo, silence hung heavy. "You were brilliant tonight," Alexander finally said. Jamie sighed, "But it's all fake. What happens after?" Alexander looked away, the city blurring past. The next day, media buzzed with photos of the happy couple, boosting Harrington's stock. Theodore called, praising the match, but Alexander felt hollow. Jamie, reading the articles, questioned his role. Was he enabling a lie that hurt more than helped? Weeks blurred into a routine of public appearances. Charity events, dinners, interviews. Jamie's life transformed. Debts paid, school easier. But emotionally, he unraveled. He missed authenticity, confiding in Mia. "I'm falling for him, but it's built on sand." Mia urged, "Get out before it crashes." Alexander, too, grappled with feelings. In therapy sessions he started secretly, he admitted attraction to Jamie, but fear paralyzed him. Coming out could cost everything. A turning point came at a Pride event Jamie volunteered for. He invited Alexander, who declined at first. Too risky, but curiosity won. He attended incognito. Watching Jamie speak passionately about equality, surrounded by vibrant crowds, Alexander felt envy and admiration. Afterward, they walked through the streets, rainbow flags waving. "This is who I am," Jamie said. "You could be part of it." Alexander kissed his forehead impulsively. "Maybe I want to." Their relationship deepened privately. Late nights debating politics, sharing dreams. Alexander opened up about his youth, suppressed crushes, family pressure to conform. Jamie shared scars from rejection. One evening, as rain pattered against windows, Alexander held Jamie's hand genuinely. "This started fake, but," Jamie finished, "it's not anymore." They didn't kiss, but the air crackled with possibility. Yet, society intruded. Alexander's family planned a pre-wedding retreat in the Hamptons, expecting rings and vows. Jamie panicked. "I can't lie forever," Alexander promised. "Just a bit longer." But at the retreat, tensions exploded. Theodore announced a merger hinging on Alexander's stable image. Clara, sensing truth, confronted Jamie. "You're good for him, but is he out to you?" Jamie deflected, but guilt mounted. A heated argument ensued between Alexander and Jamie on the beach. "This is suffocating me," Jamie yelled, waves crashing. "You're using me to stay closeted," Alexander shouted back. "I'm protecting us. You think the world accepts this?" Hurt, Jamie stormed off, leaving Alexander alone with the tide. That night, Jamie considered quitting, but a text from Alexander, "I need you," pulled him back. Reconciliation came slowly. Alexander apologized, admitting fear. "You've shown me what real feels like." Jamie forgave, but warned, "Change or lose me." As the retreat ended, Theodore pulled Alexander aside. "I'm proud, but prove it's real." The pressure intensified, setting the stage for bigger conflicts. Back in the city, the facade began to crack under mounting scrutiny. Tabloids speculated about the whirlwind romance, with anonymous sources hinting at inconsistencies. Alexander's PR team spun stories, but Jamie grew weary of the charade. "We need to talk about us. The real us," he insisted one afternoon in Central Park, leaves crunching underfoot. Alexander nodded, but his phone buzzed incessantly with work demands. The first major clash came from Jamie's side. His mother, Linda, visited from Ohio, excited to meet the fiancé. Over brunch, she beamed at Alexander. "You make my boy happy." But later, alone with Jamie, She sensed unease. Is this too fast? He seems guarded. Jamie confessed partially. It's complicated, Mom. Linda hugged him. Just be true to yourself. Her words echoed, amplifying Jamie's internal turmoil. Alexander faced his own family reckoning. At a board dinner, Theodore toasted the couple, but whispered to Alexander, "No scandals. Our name is everything." That night, Alexander drank too much, confiding in Jamie. "I envy your freedom." Jamie replied, "Freedom's a choice." Their conversation turned intimate, sharing vulnerabilities. Alexander's lonely childhood, Jamie's past heartbreaks. As they sat on the balcony, stars above, Alexander leaned in, their lips brushing in a tentative kiss. It was brief, charged with emotion, but Alexander pulled back. "We can't. Not yet." The kiss lingered, complicating everything. Jamie wanted more, but Alexander retreated, citing risks. "If this leaks, it's over." Jamie felt rejected, sparking arguments. "You're ashamed of me, of us." Alexander denied it, but actions spoke louder. He avoided public affection, fueling Jamie's frustration. Social conflicts escalated at a fundraiser for LGBTQ rights, which Jamie convinced Alexander to attend. There, activists praised Jamie's work, but one recognized Alexander. "Harrington, your company's anti-discrimination policies are weak." Alexander defended, but Jamie piled on. "He's right. You could do more." Humiliated, Alexander stormed out. Later, in the car, he accused Jamie. "You undermined me." Jamie shot back. "I spoke truth. Hiding helps no one." The fallout rippled. Alexander's family heard rumors. Clara calling, "Is Jamie pushing you out? Be careful." Theodore demanded a meeting. "This engagement. Make it official or end it." Pressured, Alexander proposed a real ring to Jamie. But as a ploy, wear it for show. Jamie accepted reluctantly, the diamond feeling like a shackle. Jamie's advocacy work clashed with Alexander's world. He organized a protest against corporate inequality, indirectly targeting Harrington Enterprises' labor practices. When Alexander found out, fury erupted. "You're biting the hand that feeds you." Jamie countered, "I'm fighting for what's right. Your company exploits workers." The argument peaked with Jamie yelling, "Choose, your lies or the truth." They separated for days, Jamie crashing at Mia's. "He's changing me," he admitted. Mia advised, "End it." Alexander, alone in his penthouse, realized his feelings were real. He visited the youth center Jamie volunteered at, seeing him mentor kids. Inspired, he donated anonymously, but Jamie traced it. "Why?" Jamie asked. Alexander replied, "Because you matter." Reunited, they navigated uneasy peace. Alexander attended therapy more, exploring his identity. Jamie supported, but pushed, "Come out on your terms." A breakthrough came during a quiet weekend getaway to the Catskills. Amid hikes and fireside talks, Alexander admitted, "I love you, for real." Jamie reciprocated, "Me too." They shared a proper kiss, emotions surging, but agreed to take it slow. Back home, reality intruded. A leaked email from Alexander's past, discussing the fake engagement, surfaced online. Media frenzy ensued. Harrington's hoax? Theodore raged, calling an emergency family meeting. "Explain this." Alexander, cornered, defended. "It started fake, but it's real now." Skeptical, Theodore threatened disinheritance. Jamie, bombarded by reporters, stood firm. "Our love is genuine." But internally, doubt festered. Had he been manipulated? At a press conference Alexander organized, he planned to clarify, but Jamie intervened backstage. "Tell the truth. All of it." Alexander hesitated, the weight of legacy bearing down. The conference became a pivotal moment. Alexander spoke. "The engagement began as an arrangement, but Jamie changed me." He stopped short of coming out fully, frustrating Jamie. Afterward, Jamie confronted, "Half-truths aren't enough." Hurt, Jamie walked away, leaving Alexander reeling. As weeks passed, separation amplified pain. Alexander missed Jamie's laugh, his fire. Jamie threw himself into work, but ached for Alexander. Friends urged moving on, but love lingered. A chance encounter at the coffee shop, Alexander ordering his usual, sparked hope. "I can't do this without you," Alexander said. Jamie replied, "Then be honest." The turning point arrived amid a brewing storm. Harrington Enterprises faced a lawsuit from former employees alleging discrimination against LGBTQ staff. Irony not lost on anyone. Protesters gathered outside headquarters, Jamie among them, holding a sign, "Equality for all." Alexander watched from his office, heart torn. This was his company, his legacy, but Jamie's cause was just. Confronting his fears, Alexander joined the protest incognito at first, then revealed himself. "I stand with you," he announced to the crowd, cameras flashing. Jamie's eyes widened in shock. Backstage, Alexander explained, "You were right. I can't hide anymore." They embraced amid cheers, but the act had consequences. Theodore summoned Alexander. "You've ruined us." In a heated confrontation, Alexander came out fully, "I'm gay, Grandpa, and I love Jamie." Theodore, stunned, disowned him temporarily. "No place for this in our family." Clara supported Alexander. "It's time, bro." Evelyn wavered, but Robert sided with Theodore. Disinherited, Alexander lost his CEO position, rivals swooping in. He moved out of the penthouse, crashing in a modest apartment. Jamie stood by him. "We'll rebuild." But financial strain tested them. Jamie's salary couldn't cover both. Alexander job hunted, facing rejections due to scandal. Social backlash intensified. Conservative media labeled Alexander a fraud, while LGBTQ communities debated. Was his coming out genuine or forced? Jamie defended in interviews. Love changed him, but doubts crept. Friends accused Jamie of exploiting the rich man. "You hired on. Now you're profiting?" Mia asked. Jamie reflected. "It started that way, but it's more." Their relationship deepened amid adversity. Late nights planning futures, supporting each other. Alexander volunteered at the youth center, finding purpose. "This feels right," he told Jamie. A tender moment. Cooking dinner together, laughing over burned pasta. "I wouldn't trade this for the world," Alexander said. Jamie kissed him. "Me neither." Yet, conflicts persisted. Alexander's family reconciliation attempts failed. Theodore's health declined, adding guilt. "Did I cause this?" Alexander worried. Jamie reassured. "You chose truth." At a hospital visit, Theodore softened slightly. "I don't understand, but you're my blood." No full acceptance, but a crack. Jamie's past resurfaced. An ex-boyfriend, Tyler, contacted him, offering support but stirring jealousy. "He's stable, unlike your mess," Tyler hinted. Alexander overheard, insecurity flaring. "Am I holding you back?" Jamie affirmed. "No, you're my choice." A major twist. Jamie discovered Alexander had secretly kept some funds aside, not fully broke. "You lied again?" Jamie accused. Alexander explained. "For us to start over." Betrayed, Jamie left temporarily. Trust is everything. Alone, Alexander reflected on his patterns, deception as armor. Reconciliation came at the coffee shop, full circle. Alexander apologized. "No more lies." Jamie forgave. "We build honestly." They recommitted, planning a real future, perhaps marriage on their terms. As months passed, Alexander launched a startup focused on inclusive tech, with Jamie's input on social impact. Success trickled in, proving resilience. Family thawed. Clara mediated. Evelyn visited. Theodore, on his deathbed, whispered approval. "Be happy." But the ultimate shock loomed. At a public event celebrating their journey, Jamie took the stage unexpectedly. "This started as a deal," he announced. But love prevailed. Then, dropping the bomb, "I've been documenting it all, for a book, to inspire others." The crowd gasped. Alexander froze. Was this betrayal? The revelation hit like a thunderclap. Jamie's book, titled Faking It to Make It, a true story of love and lies, detailed their journey, from the coffee shop proposition to the coming-out chaos. Excerpts leaked online, sparking viral debates. Was Jamie exploiting their private pain for profit? Alexander, blindsided, confronted him at home. How could you? This was our story. Jamie defended passionately. It's to help others, closeted people, families, show that change is possible. But Alexander felt exposed. You turned us into a spectacle. The argument raged, echoing past conflicts. Jamie admitted, I started writing as therapy, then saw the impact. Alexander stormed out, questioning everything. Media frenzy reignited. Supporters praised Jamie's bravery. Empowering narrative. Critics slammed. Profiting off personal trauma. Alexander's startup suffered backlash. Investors pulled out. Jamie's social work career boomed with speaking gigs. But at what cost? Friends divided. Mia sided with Jamie. Truth sets free. Clara with Alexander. That's low. Separation ensued, the longest yet. Alexander retreated to the Catskills, reflecting. He read the manuscript Jamie sent. Raw, emotional, portraying him sympathetically. Tears fell as he saw Jamie's love woven through. Jamie, meanwhile, delayed publication, doubting, was it worth losing him? Reconciliation sparked via a letter from Alexander. I understand now. You fought for truth when I couldn't. They met at Central Park, autumn leaves falling. Forgive me, Jamie asked. Alexander nodded. Only if we co-author the ending. They kissed, sealing renewal. The book released, co-credited, becoming a bestseller. It sparked discussions on coming out, family dynamics, societal pressures. Alexander's family fully reconciled. Theodore's passing brought closure. His will restored inheritance with a note. Live authentically. Years later, married for real in a small ceremony, they ran a foundation for LGBTQ youth. Jamie's advocacy flourished. Alexander's business thrived ethically. Their story inspired, but not without scars. In the end, Jamie's shocking act, turning their deception into public truth, saved them, but raised questions. Was exposing their private struggles for the greater good justified, or was it a betrayal of trust?